All right, everyone. Saudi Arabia is currently a little bit worried about the fact that U.S. oil production has surged so much. You see, we found more oil, Texas, Alaska, other locations. And this adds to a fundamental reshuffling of the world economy insofar as it's based on fuel. Now, keep in mind, people who are like, the American empire will fall any day now, what do they always invoke? They invoke the petrodollar. They say, well, other countries might stop, we're relying on fuel, so the big, powers of the future are the fuel producers. The United States is the #1 producer of fuel and now the #1 producer of oil, not just natural gas and high up there in coal. We've got all the energy. If you're going to preface the concept of world hegemony on fuel, we're actually growing in power right now, not in decline. That's a good thing, by the way. I mean, as an American, I might be partial, but I'm happy about the world order generally the way it is currently. I just wish it had less globalism. I think we need to look out for ourselves and not bully other nations, but if I were in the Senate, I'd be in the minority, obviously. If I were a U.S. president, I'd be in poor company over the last half century, it seems. Here's the thing, though. The Saudis are losing steam. Here's the problem. As U.S. production continues to rise and keeps the prices artificially low, one of Saudi Arabia's plans was that they're looking forward to a future in which oil is less dominant in the world, which is inevitable. Green energy will continue to increase its efficiency. There will be a tipping point at which it proliferates across the world. The US, China, Germany certainly, we're all developing better and better technology. Now you've got solar panels that are paper thin. They're highly durable. They're much more portable. They're cheaper to produce. They're more efficient. They produce more energy. We're making leaps and bounds. It's still not there. It's not as efficient as gas or oil, but it's getting there, and I believe it's already more efficient than coal. That's a big step, because for a long time people said, oh, solar panels, you need 100 of them to power, what could be powered with a 9-volt battery. That, by the way, leads me to the second problem, which is they need much better batteries. The concept of batteries that we currently use will be eventually scrapped in favor of some sort of technology that is in a totally solid state, cheaper to produce. It will be made, it's just a matter of the will to make it. I guarantee you, if you look at any technology, people have always thought, well, this technology is as good as it can ever get. We can't improve its efficiency, we can't make it cheaper, we can't make it more readily available. They have always been wrong. It's like with computers, they were talking about, we're not going to be able to miniaturize anymore, boo-hoo-hoo, and then they develop carbon nanotubules and graphene and everything else, because when you put an industry under pressure, it tends to try to work around the pressure. It innovates. Technology takes hold. That's what happened in the US. Why do you think we're having a fuel boom? They realized through hydraulic fracking and other exploratory and extraction methods, oh, that's right, we thought we were at peak oil, but actually we haven't even tapped half of it. We've got literal lakes of oil bigger than any of the others we've already been extracting from just in western Texas, let alone up in Alaska, and we're not even remotely done exploring. I bet you, if they were to explore more and more, they would find more and more oil. I bet it's everywhere, because my personal theory with regards to oil is that it is created by bacteria, extremophiles within the Earth's crust. They, chemotrophs especially, maybe even radiotrophs, they excrete, as bacteria tend to. They leave behind a sort of excreted biofilm. This biofilm is under high pressure and heat. It is squeezed through porous rock into areas of high density to areas of lower density. It tends to accumulate through tectonic movement. It slowly kneads the Earth's crust. This is established. It is happening on a regular basis. That's why you have earthquakes and volcanoes and cool shit like that that destroys entire civilizations. This slowly over time amalgamates the oil, the carbon-rich material in pockets. That's all. That's how it's being produced, at least according to my own personal beliefs. Could be wrong. Maybe it's decomposed dinosaurs, like some people think. Although the decomposing dinosaur theory was just a convenient way to explain why we needed to stop using oil, because it could never be produced again. Because there's no dinosaurs now to decompose. We'll have to do Jurassic Park stuff, and then we'll have a valley full of dinosaurs, nuke them, and it'll turn into oil after 1 million years. Hooray! That's basically what they thought. Of course, it turns out completely fucking false. Yeah, coal deposits have some plants in them. How do you know that's exactly how it was entirely produced? I'm not sure. Trying to conflate the production with coal of coal with oil is pretty funny anyway. Oh, they both happen to be fuel, therefore they're made similarly. Yeah, explain uranium, the uranophane ore. How'd this uraninite get here? It must be a decomposed dinosaur. It's just really, really compressed decomposed dinosaur. It's so compressed it's starting to have atoms split off of it and fucking shit like that. Now, Saudi Arabia is worried because it looks as the world's economic order is shifting. And for all of the people who are like, they're like, doomsday is coming, the American hegemony will fall, we're at the end of our empire stage, just like Rome. Trust me, over the next, at least half century, we'll probably be fine. In fact, we'll probably get more powerful. Look, all the things are slowly moving in order. China's slowing down without the possibility, likely, of them becoming a true military rival. Russia's, there's nothing more to say about it. They can't compete with Italy. Now, I realize that Russia is a force to behold in many ways, but it doesn't have the economic capabilities that the USSR had. It's not a credible threat. People with their Russia bullshit over here, totally wrong. The EU is the closest to a true competitor that's been formed. The EU's falling apart, dude. Like it's going to end up becoming Germany and Germany's sphere. Yeah, it'll be a major economy. It'll be like India or something like that as far as certainly its output. Who cares? Fucking play nice. Nobody's trying to screw you over. I don't think anyone in the US wants to screw over a bunch of European states or really anyone else. I don't want to see the Saudi Arabians screwed over, but here's the thing. Their next century's plans, the Saudi Arabian government's very good at long-term planning, trust me. The House of Saud is going to be there for a long time, for good or for ill. You could argue, well, which is better? A bunch of theocratic people voting a republic? In a republic, or a bunch of theocratic monarchs that themselves are probably atheistic and have like orgies and stuff. I don't know, they're kind of equivalent. You're going to end up with the same long-term problems and same long-term benefits. Here's the thing. Their long-term proposal is, hey, we're going to switch to green energy and we're going to farm. We're going to irrigate things. We'll have a farming sector. We're going to do other things, not just oil, basically. How are you going to do that now? Where's the money for these projects going to come from now that the oil price is half of what it was at its peak? The answer is they're going to have to rely on their tax haven buddies. And on Pakistan. Pakistan has, a lot of agriculture. It's, obviously more than a fuel economy. It's not really a fuel economy at all. Raw materials, minerals, certain agriculture and things, but also a military sector. Saudi Arabia loaned out and granted huge amounts of money to all of its neighbors in order to, bypass this exact style of scenario. The problem is a lot of other oil-rich nations can't. Like Venezuela never did that. Venezuela didn't say, hey, Colombia, we're giving you 50 billion big ones of oil. You pay us back later. You owe us one. It never did stuff like this, so its economy's fucked. And also in Saudi Arabia, the oil is better. They're actually maintaining the rigs, which means less of a problem. But over time, if U.S. energy production continues, and it will, like we can at least should do mass exploration for oil, gas, coal, find where it is, leave it in the ground for now, but potentially exploit it later. Let's show the world our true economic muscle. You haven't even seen anything yet. Yeah, the American century is just beginning. That's my personal theory. A lot of people are more pessimistic. They say, no, we're screwed. We're going to be destroyed because the globalists don't like us. It has nothing to do with it. They certainly want you to be miserable and a wage slave and a workaday drone. They don't want you to think for yourself. But economically speaking, no problem. As a whole, the nation of the United States has no economic problem. The fact that a lot of people within it have economic problems is by structure. It's not by any flaw of us having few resources, or we're too concentrated in population to feed ourselves or anything. None of those things are problems. Everything else is set up for us to succeed. All we have a need for now is populism, really. Populism and nativism. We restructure our society. We haul in the power of government, decrease it, and avoid, World War III or something. We should be fine for the next century, maybe even two. That's my prediction. That's about all. Peace out.